The Galactic Council ruled the stars for thousands of years. 17 advanced alien species made up this powerful group. They controlled space travel routes, solved problems between different aliens, and kept peace in space. Their scout ships found radio signals coming from Earth, a small planet circling an ordinary yellow sun. They sent a team to watch Earth, as they always did when finding new life. Dr. Alan Miller worked as the top alien life scientist at NASA. One regular Monday morning, he sat at his desk drinking coffee. The office window suddenly darkened. He looked up and nearly dropped his mug. A massive silver ship, smooth as polished metal with strange glowing marks, hovered in the clear blue sky. "This can't be happening," he whispered. But the ship remained there, floating silently above Washington, D.C. Within 3 hours, every TV channel, radio station, and phone screen showed emergency alerts. People packed the streets in major cities, worldwide. Some cried, some prayed, others just stared at the sky in wonder. Military jets circled the alien ship but kept their distance. President Diane Warren spoke to the nation from an underground bunker. Her normally confident face looked pale on camera. "My fellow Americans, today marks the most important day in human history. We are not alone in the universe. I ask everyone to stay calm and follow safety instructions. Our military stands ready, but the visitors have made no threatening moves. They have asked to meet with Earth's leaders. I will represent our nation with strength and wisdom." Behind the scenes, chaos ruled. The Pentagon buzzed with frantic activity. General Sam Harris shouted orders while staring at radar screens showing 5 more alien ships entering Earth orbit. "Keep all weapons ready, but do not, I repeat, do not fire unless fired upon," he commanded. The aliens called themselves the Zorathi. Their main representative, Ambassador Kolthar, requested an emergency meeting at the United Nations. World leaders gathered in New York under the heaviest security ever seen. Kolthar stood 7 feet tall with blue-gray skin that seemed to shimmer under the lights. His forearms moved gracefully as he spoke in perfect English through a small device on his chest. "People of Earth, the Galactic Council sends greetings. We have watched your world for some time. Your species has been classified as a Class 3 developing civilization. This means you have achieved basic space travel and global communication, but remain primitive by galactic standards." The room filled with nervous whispers. UN Secretary General Joseph Ortega, a normally calm man, gripped the edges of his chair until his knuckles turned white. He recognized the insulting tone but kept a diplomatic smile. "Ambassador Kolthar, we thank you for this historic visit," Ortega said, standing to speak. "Earth welcomes peaceful contact with other intelligent life. What does the Galactic Council seek from humanity?" Kolthar's large, pupil-less eyes blinked slowly. "We offer evaluation for potential future membership in our council. This process typically takes centuries for species at your development level. We will observe, guide, and test your civilization's readiness." After the formal meeting ended, people crowded around Kolthar, asking endless questions. The alien seemed amused by the attention. He moved toward Dr. Miller, who stood quietly in a corner taking notes. "You are a scientist," Kolthar said, not asking but stating. Miller nodded. "Yes, I study possible life forms beyond Earth. Now I'm meeting the real thing." Kolthar made a sound like quiet bells, apparently laughter. "Your species shows remarkable advancement despite obvious physical limitations. No offense intended, but your short lifespans, fragile bodies, and limited brain capacity should make progress difficult. Yet you achieved nuclear power and space travel relatively quickly." Miller forced a smile, remembering General Patricia Green's strict warning, "Tell them nothing about Project Starfall." He simply nodded politely. "With proper guidance over the next few hundred years," Kolthar continued, "humans might eventually contribute something meaningful to galactic society." The alien didn't notice Miller's hand tightening around his pen until it cracked. That night, Miller's security clearance got him through 16 checkpoints deep beneath the Rocky Mountains. He rode an elevator down over a mile into the Earth. The doors opened to reveal a massive underground complex buzzing with activity. General Patricia Green met him at the entrance. Her stern face showed no reaction to the day's events. "They don't know, do they?" Miller asked quietly. "No," Green answered, leading him through steel doors marked Starfall Project, Level Alpha. "And we need to keep it that way." They entered, a vast chamber where hundreds of scientists and engineers worked around a central object, covered by a massive tarp. "For 50 years we've kept this secret," Green said. "Ever since that scout ship crashed in Nevada in 1972, we've been learning, adapting and preparing." Workers removed the tarp, revealing a sleek spacecraft unlike anything publicly known to exist on Earth. Its black metal surface absorbed light rather than reflected it. "This is just one of 12 we've built," Green explained. "Reverse engineered, from their technology, but improved with human innovation. We have bases on the dark side of the moon and deep under the Pacific Ocean. Our quantum communications can't be detected by their systems." Miller stared in amazement. "The Zarathi have no idea?" "None," Green said with the first smile Miller had ever seen on her face. "They think we're centuries behind them. Their arrogance blinds them. They see what they expect to see. Primitive humans barely pass the Stone Age by their standards." "So what do we do now?" Miller asked. "We play along," Green replied. "We act impressed, grateful, and slightly afraid. Meanwhile, we learn everything about them, their technology, their weaknesses, their politics. And when the time is right, she didn't finish the sentence. She didn't need to. On the Zarathi mothership orbiting Earth, Ambassador Kolthar prepared his report to the Galactic Council. Primitive but promising species. Recommend minimal technology sharing with careful monitoring. Earth presents no threat or significant value at this time. Standard observation protocols suggested. Little did he know that deep beneath Earth's surface, humanity's true capabilities remained hidden, waiting for the right moment to change the galaxy forever. 6 months passed since the aliens first arrived. Now a larger team from the Galactic Council came to Earth. They called this the assessment period. High Evaluator Jix Nara led the alien group. She looked like Kolthar, but had purple skin, markings, and 3 fingers on each of her 4 hands. The aliens built a base in Switzerland, a neutral country with mountains that reminded them of their home world. From this base, they began studying humans up close. "These humans are more backward than we thought," Jix Nara said to her team after the first month. Her report to the Galactic Council was harsh. "Humans fight among themselves too much. Their technology is primitive. They will need at least 300 years before we can consider them for even the lowest council membership." Captain Lisa Rodriguez didn't like how the aliens looked down on humans. The government had just formed the Earth Defense Force, and they chose Rodriguez as the military person to work with the aliens. She was tough, smart, and good at hiding her true feelings. One day, Jix Nara watched Rodriguez check her phone. The alien made a clicking sound that the translator didn't change into English. "Is that your best communication device?" Jix Nara asked. Rodriguez nodded, hiding her smile. The phone was actually an ordinary one, not the quantum-linked device in her pocket that could talk to the secret bases. "Yes, we're very proud of our smartphone technology." Jix Nara made that clicking sound again. "On our world, children use more advanced technology as toys." When Jix Nara asked to see human military bases, Rodriguez was ready. She took the alien team to carefully prepared places. These bases showed only old tanks, regular planes, and basic weapons. The secret facilities remained hidden underground, underwater, and on the far side of the moon. "Your weapons could maybe fight off wild animals, but not any space threats," Jix Nara said after seeing a lineup of tanks. "It's good the Council protects developing worlds like yours." Rodriguez forced a smile. "We're grateful for your protection." Far away from the aliens' watching eyes, deep in the Appalachian Mountains, Colonel Jack Nelson walked through a massive hidden door. Inside the mountain was America's most secret military base. Hundreds of engineers and soldiers worked around a large silver ship. "Is the FTL engine ready?" Nelson asked his team. FTL meant faster than light, the technology that let ships travel between stars quickly. Chief Engineer Pete Wilson wiped sweat from his face. Yes, sir. We installed the final parts yesterday. The engine works perfectly in all tests. Nelson nodded. And our pilot? Major Kevin Phillips is completing his 10,000th hour in the simulator today, Wilson answered. Nobody has more practice flying this thing, even though it's never actually flown yet. Major Phillips sat in a dark room wearing a special helmet. Inside the helmet, he saw stars and felt like he was really flying the ship. The simulator shook and moved exactly like the real ship would. If the real test flight succeeded, humans would secretly have technology that the Galactic Council thought was hundreds of years beyond Earth's ability. Back in Switzerland, Dr. Susan Thompson arrived at the alien base with a small metal ball. President Warren had given her permission to show the aliens a little bit of advanced human technology, but only a small, carefully chosen piece. Hi, Evaluator Jix Nara. I'd like to show you something we've been working on, Thompson said. The alien looked bored. Very well. Thompson placed the metal ball on the table. She pressed a button on her watch. The ball slowly rose into the air and hung there, floating. For the first time, Jix and Nara looked surprised. This is gravity manipulation? A very basic version, Thompson said. We discovered it recently. Jix Nara quickly hid her surprise. Developing such technology without understanding the science behind it is typical of primitive species. This could be dangerous for you. What Jix Nara didn't know was that humans understood the science perfectly well. The floating ball used only a tiny bit of the technology that powered the secret human ships. In space, the large council ship recorded everything happening on Earth. They thought their technology was far beyond human detection. They were wrong. Dr. Frank Cooper worked in a hidden room under New York City. Once a chess champion, he now led a team studying the aliens. On his screens, he watched live video from inside the alien ship. They have no idea we can see them, he said to his assistant. Tiny robots smaller than dust had attached to the aliens' clothes during their visits to Earth. These spy bots sent back everything they saw and heard. Each day we learn more about their technology, Cooper said. But more importantly, we're learning how they think, how their society works, who has power, and what they fear. He pointed to a chart showing alien brain patterns. See this? They're overconfident. They believe they're so advanced that they don't need to look for threats from primitive species like us. That's their biggest weakness. Cooper turned to a secure phone. Tell General Green that Phase 2 is complete. We now understand enough about their technology to move to Phase 3. In orbit, the aliens continued watching Earth, never suspecting that humans were watching them right back, and learning all their secrets. 2 years passed since the aliens first came to Earth. Now the time arrived for the Galactic Council to decide Earth's fate. On a distant planet called Zor Prime, the Council gathered in a huge round room. The ceiling looked like the night sky, with thousands of stars glowing above. Representatives from all 17 member species sat in tall chairs arranged in a circle. Some looked almost human. Others were very different. One was made of living crystal. Another looked like a giant octopus floating in a water tank. Ambassador Kolthar stood in the center of the room. A large screen behind him showed images of Earth, cities, oceans, people going about their daily lives. Honorable Council members, Kolthar began, I have spent 2 years studying the species known as humans on the planet they call Earth. I am now ready to give my recommendation. The room fell silent as all attention focused on the blue-skinned ambassador. Humans have shown some interesting qualities, he continued. They learn quickly and adapt well to challenges. However, they remain far too primitive for real council membership. Their technology is basic. They still fight among themselves over resources. They have only visited their own moon. Images flashed on the screen. Old rocket launches, traffic jams, soldiers with simple guns. I recommend that Earth be classified as a monitored developing world. We should provide limited help with their environmental problems, but nothing more. They should be re-evaluated in 50 standard years. What the Council didn't know was that humans were listening to every word. Deep under the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., Dr. Ryan Lewis and his team of language experts worked at computers. Small spy devices placed on the alien ship sent back everything happening in the council meeting. Lewis and his team translated the alien languages instantly. President Diane Warren watched the video feed with a tight expression. Next to her sat General Patricia Green, Secretary General Joseph Ortega, and other world leaders. "They really think we're that primitive," Warren said softly. On the screen, a new alien stood to speak. This one had red scales and yellow eyes, a Volaxian according to the computer. "I disagree with the Honorable Ambassador," the Volaxian said. "Humans are not just primitive. They are dangerous. Their history is full of violence. When they gain advanced technology, they will become a threat to the galaxy. I suggest we contain them rather than help them." Several council members nodded in agreement. "Contain us?" General Green whispered. "What does that mean?" "Nothing good," Ortega replied. Another alien rose to speak. This one looked more like a tall human with silver skin and large eyes. An Andorian. "My friends, I think we underestimate these humans," the Andorian said. "Yes, they are young as a species, but they learn faster than any race we've encountered. Given time, they might surprise us all." Few council members seemed to agree with the Andorian. Most looked bored or dismissive. The council leader, an ancient being with glowing eyes, called for a vote. One by one, the representatives voted. The final decision was almost unanimous. Earth would receive limited help with environmental problems only. A small station would be built near Neptune to watch humans and make sure they didn't develop dangerous technology too quickly. In the Pentagon room, President Warren stood up. Her face showed no emotion, but her eyes burned with determination. "They've made their decision," she said. "Now we make ours." She turned to General Green. "Activate Protocol Prometheus." General Green immediately picked up a secure phone. "This is Green. Authorization code Delta 7 Echo 9. Activate Protocol Prometheus. I repeat, activate Protocol Prometheus." Around the world, hidden facilities sprang into action. In the Appalachian base, Colonel Jack Nelson received the order. "It's time," he told his team. "Prepare all vessels for deployment." Major Kevin Phillips and 11 other pilots suited up. They had trained for this moment for years. Each would pilot an advanced ship built with reverse-engineered alien technology. Their mission? To secretly establish human bases beyond the solar system. On the far side of the moon, hidden from Earth and alien eyes, the secret lunar base, Armstrong, came fully online. Inside its vast underground hangars, hundreds of ships stood ready. Some were designed for exploration, others for defense. All used technology the aliens thought humans wouldn't discover for centuries. General Green arrived at Armstrong Base 12 hours later. From a control room deep inside the lunar surface, she watched as Major Phillips and his squadron prepared for mankind's first official faster-than-light journey. "Your mission is simple," she told the pilots. "Travel to the Proxima Centauri system. Establish a base on the fourth planet. Begin mining operations. Return in 6 months." Phillips nodded. "What about the aliens watching our system?" "Their monitoring station near Neptune won't be operational for another 3 months," Green replied. "By then we'll have methods to hide our ships from their sensors. Today you simply need to leave before they arrive." The 12 stealth ships looked nothing like the rockets aliens had seen humans use. These were sleek black vessels that absorbed light rather than reflected it. Their engines used quantum technology that left no traditional energy trail. As the countdown reached 0, Phillips felt his heart racing. This was humanity's greatest moment, and almost no humans would even know it happened. "Godspeed," General Green said as the hangar doors opened, revealing the star-filled darkness of space. The ships rose silently from the lunar surface and accelerated away from Earth. Within moments, they had passed Mars. Then, one by one, they activated their FTL drives. 12 flashes of light, invisible to conventional sensors, marked humanity's first steps into the wider galaxy. Back on Earth, when the Council's representatives formally announced their decision to United Nations leadership, Secretary General Ortega nodded politely and thanked them for their generous assistance. Behind his diplomatic smile was the knowledge that while the Council planned to wait 50 years before reconsidering Earth's status, humans had no intention of waiting at all. 5 years passed since the aliens first came to Earth. During this time, humans pretended to be less advanced than they really were. Meanwhile, they built secret bases on other planets and developed powerful new weapons and ships. Now, a fleet of Zarathi mining ships entered the solar system. They came to build the monitoring station near Neptune that the Council had approved. Captain Zexmore led the fleet. He felt bored with this simple mission to watch a primitive planet. "Begin scanning the outer system," he ordered his crew. "Find a suitable moon of Neptune to build our station." A young Zarathi officer worked at the scanning console. Suddenly he sat up straight. "Captain, I detect an artificial structure already orbiting Neptune." Captain Zexmore frowned. "Impossible. The humans don't have the technology to reach the outer planets yet." "The scans are clear, sir," the officer insisted. "It's a large facility, and it appears to be of human design." Zexmore rushed to the console. The screen showed a massive space station orbiting Neptune. It had Earth flags clearly visible on its sides. "Open a communication channel," Zexmore ordered, his voice shaking slightly. The main screen lit up. A human woman in a military uniform appeared. She had dark hair pulled back tightly and confident eyes. "This is Admiral Lisa Rodriguez of the Earth Defense Force, commanding the Neptune Security Station. You have entered Earth's sovereign territory. Identify yourselves." Zexmore could hardly believe what he was seeing. According to all Council reports, humans shouldn't have been able to build such a station for at least 200 more years. "This is Captain Zexmore of the Galactic Council. How is this possible? Your species does not possess the technology for deep space construction." Admiral Rodriguez smiled slightly. "Captain, there's much about humanity the Council doesn't know. We've been spacefaring long before your people arrived. We simply chose not to reveal our true capabilities while we evaluated the Council's intentions." As Zexmore struggled to respond, a massive ship emerged from behind Neptune. It dwarfed his mining vessels. The ship was sleek and black with EDF Defiance written on its side in large letters. "This is just one of our defense fleet vessels," Rodriguez continued. "We have others throughout the solar system and beyond." On the Zarathi homeworld, panic spread through the Galactic Council. Emergency meetings were called as reports flooded in from across the galaxy. Human outposts had been discovered in multiple star systems. Council scout ships found human mining operations on planets the Council hadn't even explored yet. The Council leader summoned Ambassador Kolthar immediately. "Explain this," the leader demanded, showing images of human bases on distant worlds. "You told us humans were primitive." Kolthar looked at the images in shock. I don't understand. They showed us only basic technology. Their ships could barely reach their own moon." "They deceived you," the leader said coldly, "and you failed to see through their deception." In another part of the Council building, analysts reviewed data from the past 5 years. They discovered that tiny spy devices had been planted on Council ships. Humans had listened to every private Council meeting about Earth. Emergency warnings flashed across all Council communications networks. Human technological capacity severely underestimated. Exercise extreme caution in the Sol system. Back on Earth, President Diane Warren sat in the Oval Office. On the screen before her, the Galactic Council leader's face showed a mixture of fear and anger. "You have violated Council protocols," the leader said. "Developing forbidden technologies in secret is a serious offense." Warren remained calm. "We violated no protocols because we never agreed to any. Earth was never given membership or even proper respect. We were judged as primitive and dismissed. We simply chose to keep our capabilities private until we understood what kind of neighbors we were dealing with." She pressed a button on her desk. The screen split to show a second image. Secretary General Joseph Ortega standing in the United Nations building. "The people of Earth request an emergency session of the Galactic Council," Ortega announced formally. "We wish to discuss our proper place in the galactic community." 3 days later, President Warren and Secretary General Ortega arrived at the Council homeworld in a human ship. that moved faster than any council vessel. Guards escorted them into the grand chamber, where all 17 council species waited, in an uneasy silence. Warren walked confidently to the center of the room. Behind her, a team of human scientists set up holographic projectors. "Honored council members," Warren began, "for 5 years you have believed humanity to be a primitive species barely worth your attention. Today we will correct that misunderstanding." The holographic projectors activated, showing Earth's true technological achievements: fusion power plants that produced clean energy, gravity control systems that allowed easy space travel, faster than light, engines more efficient than council designs, and quantum communication devices that worked across vast distances instantly. "We have established colonies on 7 planets outside our solar system," Warren continued, "all without your knowledge or permission." The Valaxian representative jumped up, his red scales darkening with anger. "This deception cannot stand. Must contain this threat immediately." He turned to the council leader. "I move that we deploy military forces to isolate the human systems until they surrender their illegal technologies." Warren simply nodded to one of her scientists. The holographic display changed to show Earth's defensive capabilities: force fields that could withstand any known council weapon, energy cannons that could disable ships without destroying them, a network of early warning systems throughout nearby space. "We've studied every weapon in the council arsenal," Warren said calmly, "and developed countermeasures for each one. We don't seek conflict, but we are prepared for it." The council chamber fell completely silent. For the first time in its thousands of years of existence, the mighty Galactic Council faced a species they had underestimated, but now feared. The balance of power had shifted, and everyone in the room knew it. Within months after humanity revealed its true power, everything changed in galactic politics. The Galactic Council held many emergency meetings. After heated arguments, they voted to give Earth full membership in the Council. No species had ever joined so quickly in the Council's long history. Dr. Alan Miller, who first met the aliens 5 years ago, now represented Earth as its science ambassador. He traveled to many alien worlds, teaching them about human science and learning from them in return. "Humans think differently than other species," Miller explained to a group of alien scientists. "When we face problems, we find creative solutions because of our short lives and difficult history. We call this beneficial desperation. We solve problems quickly because we must." Many council species found human ideas fascinating. The Andorians especially liked working with humans. They formed the first true mixed research teams, with humans and aliens working side by side on new technologies. Not everyone accepted humans as equals. The Valaxians still hated and feared humans. One day they attacked the human colony New Seattle without warning. They expected an easy victory against the small settlement. Instead, they found Admiral Rodriguez's Third Fleet waiting for them. The human ships had powerful shields and weapons that the Valaxians couldn't break through. The battle lasted less than 1 hour. The Valaxian ships surrendered with minimal casualties on both sides. "We could have destroyed your entire fleet," Rodriguez told the Valaxian commander. "But humans prefer peace to war. Remember that." The news of the human victory spread quickly through the galaxy. Now even species who doubted human abilities had proof of their power, but also of their mercy. Humans had won without killing when they could have destroyed their enemies. Colonel Jack Nelson, now a general, worked on teaching human battle tactics to friendly alien species. Together they created new ways to protect all council worlds from outside threats. Slowly, trust grew between humans and most alien races. 10 years after first contact, thousands of representatives from all council species gathered at the new space station Unity. This massive station orbited between Earth and the Moon. It served as a meeting place for all species. President Diane Warren stood before the huge crowd. This was her final speech before leaving office. 10 years ago, the Galactic Council thought humans were primitive and unimportant, she said. They underestimated us because they only measured our visible technology, not our potential or our spirit. She looked around at the many alien faces, watching her. But today we don't stand before you in fear or anger. We offer partnership. Humans have always looked to the stars not just to conquer, but to understand and grow. Together, all our species can achieve more than any could alone. As Warren finished speaking, a young Zorathi child walked forward. The child carried a gift, a small model of the first contact ship that had appeared over Earth 10 years before. The Zorathi child handed it to a human child standing near Warren. The two children smiled at each other. This simple moment represented the new future, a generation that would grow up knowing many species, not just their own. In deep space, far beyond the solar system, human and alien crews worked together on exploration ships. They traveled to distant galaxies that none had visited before. These mixed crews proved that diversity made them stronger, not weaker. On the observation deck of Unity Station, Admiral Rodriguez stood looking at Earth below. Ambassador Colthar joined her, standing silently for a moment. "You never saw us coming," Rodriguez said quietly. Colthar nodded slowly. "That was our greatest mistake," he admitted. "We were too proud to imagine that a young species could match our technology." Rodriguez smiled. "And now?" "And now," Colthar said, "we're honored to have you as allies rather than enemies. The Council feared you at first, but that fear has become respect." Together they watched Earth turn slowly below them, a blue jewel in the vastness of space, home to the species that changed the galaxy forever.